Two. This is just a test. Forgot my pen. Got the rest. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Yo, I'm not the best. Got my tablet here. It's almost ready. Got the wires entangled. So the camera stays steady. Just the tilt. Nope. As far as it goes. Oh yes. Got a window bigger. Lines it doesn't expose. Window here is also too big. I think I got everything. Though I'm several minutes behind. Oh, frig. Even check. The stream is online. I got 2 green dots and one that's probably fine. Back to the controls. Right? Yeah. Okay. Working. File. That real quick. Boxes, copy and paste. Title box, copy and paste. Stuff. And okay, right? Okay, all right, okay. I think everything's okay. Stuff updated, but it looks like it's working. Oh, snaps. Oh, snaps. I should have given myself more time, but I didn't give myself more time. That's all there is to this rhyme. Give myself enough time. All right, I'm sweaty. I'm out of sorts, but that's okay. It's okay. Don't know if Milo's loaded up. Forgot to check. All right, Milo. Let's see. Let's see if you're sitting here. All right. Cheers. Okay. Yeah. Ready? Yeah, I think I'm ready. I know that I'm ready. I'm right over here. I've got my mug of happiness and dreams and tears. Don't ask whose tears they are. That's none of your business, sir. None of your business at all. As for the wide shot, I cannot promise that I'm sitting there. So try and cut into the wide shot and see if I'm there. You know, last minute stuff. It's always hectic and or crazy. Did you check to make sure the desktop sound is coming through? Because I don't think you did. No, I did not. But there you are, huh? And here I am. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mr. Cartoons. I'm way off to the side over here. I just got in the door, like 5 minutes ago. Hey, Space Goonie. Hey, Pat. Space Goonie subscribed. We go over to this camera. It does work. Most recent subscriber is now Space Goonie. You are the champion. You are the champion. Now you're in the stream label because you subscribe championically to me. Thanks for the crown, Space Goonie. Alright, so anyway, back to this camera. This camera's here. Hey, but what if I need to say something serious to Pat? Oh, Pat. Getting all black and white up in here, Patrick. I made some notes of stuff to talk about. It's been a weird week. It's been a weird week. It feels like it's been a weird 3 weeks, but it always does. Just about every weekend, when I take time to think, hey, when when all the people are like, this pandemic thing has been going on for 8 to 9 months at this point now. I'm seriously still just like, don't you mean like maybe a month and a half at the most? This can't have been that. Has it really been? Yeah, it's been that many months, and that's just uncalled for. But yeah, basically, for some reason, weeks go by in about an hour and a half, and my weekends last forever, which should be good. But anyway, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. But yeah, anybody who day one was like quarantine, pandemic. Let's do that thing that they do when there's always the storm of the century, or this thing that happened, or we're all hunkered down watching OJ. Let's order pizzas, and then 9 months later, there's quarantine babies, OJ trial babies, and storm of the century babies. Muppet babies. What about Muppet babies? They're making their dreams come true. Not even close to what I'm talking about. Ripley, intro me. I mean, play the intro. I already introed myself. That's what I forgot. Thank you, live studio audience. Oh, hi. Hi over on the Pat Cam, Serious Cam, camera where things get all black and white. Right and wrong, up is down, cats are dogs. Always pressing that by mistake. I don't want to press that by mistake. Now I know that it is pressed. Oh man. Oh, you know what I forgot? Oh, it's been such a crazy day. Literally, it took me about 2 hours to get myself to go to the grocery store. And the grocery store is literally no more than 30 seconds away in my car. About 4 minutes away by foot. Maybe less. Maybe a minute and a half away by foot. But still, like, for the past little while, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I can go out again. I don't know if I can do it anymore. And then, talking to Space Goonie, CTK, regular people in the world that are like, hey, I'm at my job right now, or I've got to go to my job. And how? How do you do that? How do you do that? I usually make it from my bed to the couch at around 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, can I make it from my couch over to here, which is, another 9, 12 feet away? I don't know. I'm not good at distances. But then, yeah, everybody else is like, hey, I went to my job. I'm at my job where I have to interact with people regardless of what's going on in the world so that I can feed myself with food that hopefully isn't coated with germs and whatnot. Viruses. But we'll tell a Space Goonie story in a second. Let me check my notes right quick. So many things. So many things I meant. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Can I still do it? Gotta go in several different cameras. Not a whole lot of space. I don't want to wait till next week. Yeah, let's put it on the screen. I'm gonna put it on the screen, and we're gonna talk about it. So notes are there. Hey Rips. Hey sweetest angel. Remind me how to go to studio mode, so I can go to studio mode. And where's my cursor? Ripley, there it is. Studio mode button. Seriously, cursor. I can't see that far. Where are you? Where are you? Computer cursor. Computer cursor. Okay, there it is there. And there we go. So this button, dashboard, CloudBot, layout editor, studio mode. So I can edit this one, and this one is live. All right. So if in this screen, can I change? This doesn't work the way I want it to, will it? Go to the main. Oh, it will. Thanks for staring at me, Ripley. You're doing a great job. You're doing a super great job, sweetest angel. And then, did I export it? Oh my god, I'm terrible at this. Go to the Twitch folder. Go to this. Grab this PNG. I'm just gonna drag it in. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm a computer wizard. Oh no, I'm just a pinball wizard. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Then we'll just put that behind Milo. The behind Milo. Yeah. Apple C. And then we'll go to the wide shot. Yeah. Click on this. Apple V. Pasting away. Pasting the night away. Hey. And then Ripley, you're doing it still, doing a bang up job. You're just the most adorable little boobied cat that could ever exist. All right, and then we're just gonna scale this. We're just gonna scale it. You can't see what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Scaling things, making it all pretty. Gonna match up from shot to shot. I don't know. My computer screen is wicked far away. So now, in theory, if I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Do I just click off of studio mode? I'm gonna click off studio mode. There I am. Pretty sure you guys were watching Ripley this whole time, right? Right? Oh snaps! There's one of those monoliths popped up. While we weren't looking, while I was busy staring at Ripley, we got ourselves a good old-fashioned monolith. You got an extra $45,000? You can get yourself a monolith. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me, Pat? Okay, but seriously. Today's comic, I think, is going to be monolith-based. I didn't come up with an idea, but I had an image of Milo just being like, hey, it's a monolith, and me just being like, this is stupid. Or me being like, hey, it's a monolith, and Milo just being like, this is stupid. And, I don't know, somehow filling 4 panels with that. Because that's what we do when we don't come up with ideas. So I guess we're talking monoliths right away. And I mean, why not? If that's going to be the theme of our thing, and there it is, right there, huh? Before we even go, real quick, because I've been watching Corridor Crew, like I mentioned last stream, / Corridor videos on YouTube. That's their channel, Corridor Crew and Corridor, and they show how to do special effects. They look at other special effects. There's amazing stuff. Dark no, how do you say an X? Dark no zigs? Dark noxic. Dark noxes? Noxies. Dark noxies. Kind of like oxys. Dark noxies, but they're different for sure. Thanks for the follow. So, because I've been watching that, you can't quite see in that version, but I did just go onto the internet and I grabbed a monolith straight from one of the monolith photos. So on this side, you can see there's some red reflections of the curtains. Technically, there's a little bit of me in there, but the picture that I used, I was wearing a blue sweater, and I figured odds are I'll probably be wearing my blue or black sweater. Then I wore a red one. But on the other side of the on the lith over here, yeah, that's right, I'm reaching behind it. Excuse me. There is some orange. Like technically, the shape of Milo is reflected on that side, but I intended it to be in a slightly different place. But yeah, like I said, I got home from the grocery store and at like 8:25, got all the things that need to go into the freezer and the fridge, into the freezer and into the fridge, and left the rest just falling onto the floor. Ran in here, plugged things in, pushed things around, and then stream away. It's the Rah I'm a Sexy Dinosaur shirt. I will add a variation of this. I was working on some new shirt designs there over the weekend, but mostly, curled up in a ball, wondering if the world is going to, envelop me in its darkness. But I'm afraid I want to switch over to the news camera, but the monolith isn't in the news camera. But I can maybe do it while it transitions. Huh? Mid-transish. That selected a bunch of things. All right, there we go. Copy. Now let's see if I can go to the news. Me and Space Goonie are usually wearing the same clothes. And if we're not, I'm dressed like your sister, or she's dressed like me. News. Where's my news camera button? This one. Bang! Alright. And drop it back. Pop it up, flip it, and reverse it. Oh, we went too far. There we go. So, in the news, in Mr. Kurt News this week, I don't even understand. Like, earlier today, I was looking at Monolith News. And in the Monolith News, it's still like in regular, like real news from like real news shows on TV, like the 5 o'clock news, if you will. They were all like, still a mystery, still don't know. Like, wait, what? I just read / looked at, watched yesterday where these guys were like, no, it's us. We just thought it would be fun. Put monoliths all over the world and it could be like a thing. And everybody would be like, yeah, that's something different than the horror that we've been going through. Thanks for doing something weird to change up the day. Oops. Monolith. Milo. Select Milo. Milo. There you go. Oh, well, you're fine. So yeah, one was like, hey, somebody did a thing a while ago, which is kind of what I thought, which just, yeah, they put up a thing and they made some kind of short film or somebody and then just left it there because that's what people do. There's like a whole city still buried somewhere from when they made Ben-Hur or something like that, or the Ten Commandments. One of those movies is just still buried under the sand, or they did resurrect it 10 years ago. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff like that. And then a bunch of them were like, they were put up, and then people were taking them down. One guy made a video. He just straight up dismantled to see, like, oh, it's just filled with cardboard inside. And it's just got some metal in these rivets, and just took it apart. And it is just like, I guess that's how the world works. You find something out in the world, you can just dismantle it and tear it apart. So I thought it was that as well, or / a Banksy. So then this like group or whatever they were like, no, it's us. So they put out a video. It showed them. They're like, we're making monoliths all the time, and you can buy them now. So after we've taken them back down again, or whatever it is, and they're $45,000 was the last thing I saw. And then just a few hours ago, I saw again just the regular news, just showing some of them that were just like, more monoliths everywhere. And again, they're not monoliths. If you keep reading enough, people are like, yeah, monolith is a giant tower made of stone. These are just spikes or poles in the ground. But yeah, these guys said that they did it. Now, I don't know. Now I have no idea, since they're still saying like, people don't know. I guess people don't know. We don't know. Who knows? But the odds that it is this one set of people all over the world like this, it's still a lot of different places. But again, that's, when people go to those ends to make a thing, you do it somewhere difficult. There's some other place, art installation, I forget where now, but someplace by the water, and they got this big, like, I forget if it's like a 400 foot, something like that. It's crazy big, but this giant sea serpent skeleton in the water, so that when the tide comes out, it's just like, oh my god, there's a giant skeleton, but it's just like a big art piece. And it didn't seem like there was a bunch of like adventurers, and yeah, based on the video, it was just like, oh, once you like Google Earth it a little bit, or look around, if you know that area, it is just like you can just drive to it. Like, the other groups that were there when the guy was dismantling it, there was clearly a bunch of different people that were just like, yeah, we go hiking by there all the time. We just didn't go look behind that rock. So there's that. But the crazy thing there's always something even crazier. Like up to then, I'm just like, that's fine. I don't really care. It's interesting. I immediately don't think, is it aliens? Like, no. No, in a world of Banksy, it's definitely not aliens. It's either A, Banksy, or it's Banksy. A guy, like today, yesterday, whatever it was, they said, like, yeah, he just put a monolith, like, really crappy looking one outside of his barbershop business, I think it was, or whatever, outside of his store, and a candy store, I think it was actually. And it didn't look like any of their monoliths, but then the preamble to the news story said, this guy put it up himself, just to join in. But then when they interviewed him, he's like, "Yeah, I don't know, I came out and then it was there all of a sudden." And in that way, where it's like, "Wow, you are clearly lying. You're wicked, obviously lying," and that monolith looks like trash. Um, so oh, that was a weird transition. Should have went over here first. Hey, black and white land, and then back to this one, or else Milo shrinks down all of a sudden. Um, but the weird thing was, so yeah, one guy he dismantled it, preserve the area. I don't want people looking for it and wrecking the land, so I'm taking it down for those reasons. So that was the Utah one. But another one, um, this is text from the news story. I watched a little clip of it, but in the video it says, excuse me, a group of three men are seen pushing the statue over and chanting "America First" and "Christ is King." The men, one of whom wearing a "Make America Great Again" headband, called part of the monolith's construction gay, then replaced it with a wooden cross. Which to me is like, I can fully see where they're coming from, or where they're going, where they're Cotton Eye Joeing, because I mean that's the whole thing. Is like the fear is 2001. Like, whoa, what if people start worshiping these monoliths like the monkeys did in that movie? Then eventually time will pass, and that monolith probably evolves into some sort of wooden cross. I don't know, but those three other things where it's just like, yep, you're terrified. You're terrified. You're the most powerful, the most highly rated, whatever, the most magical religion in the history of religions in America anyway. You're so worried that God, the most all-powerful thing in the world, is going to be taken down by some polished sheet metal in the middle of nowhere. Whoa, we've got to take care of this. This this thing here is gonna make people be gay. Look how gay it is. It's like so smooth, shiny, and pretty. Kind of just want to touch it. That doesn't make me gay. That monolith is gay. Knock it down. Put up a cross. America first. Like, no, what? America first? What? Why is what? What are you? What? I don't even understand. No, it's easy to understand. If a tower rises high enough, then it will take the place of America. I mean, have you never seen a storybook, where the moral is, if Jack didn't chop down that beanstalk, then the beanstalk would have become the country. And then, who do you pledge allegiance to? A beanstalk? Is the beanstalk going to give me health care? No, it's not at all. I mean, not that America's going to give you health care, but the option is available for some people. I don't know. It's a rough thing, but really, if you really think about it, I mean, I guess that is what, part of the whole Ten Commandments is, like, don't worship fake monoliths. And or if you did think it was aliens, like, we got to take this down in case it's like, yeah, Jeff Goldblum thing, like, oh, they're coordinating them. Checkmate's coming. Checkmate. Oh man. But that's monolith news for this week. Do I know anything? No. Did you learn anything? No. No. Other than if you didn't know that a couple of crazy people replaced one with a cross, then that's news that you didn't know. And that's another funny thing that news wise is speaking of Pat's little comment right now about the rivets, is whoa, yeah, like I definitely saw some news people, like people literally like either typing comments or they were talking to a camera like, oh, like there's rivets, like you can see the rivets, like I'm sure an advanced alien civilization is gonna have, rivets in it, like maybe, because if if you go to the moon and find some of the garbage that this advanced alien civilization is left, or on Mars, that Mars rover thing, if you go up to Mars and you find that robot that's there, and you're not from Earth, you're not gonna be like, this is obviously from Mars, cause what advanced alien civilization would get a robot from all the way from their planet, wherever it is, and or galaxy all the way here, drop it, and let it roam around and whatnot with rivets in it? Like with screws? I mean, come on. Little spirally screws? Little rubber gaskets? Rubber gaskets? No. No, an advanced alien civilization that could get a robot from one planet to another is not going to be using gaskets and rivets. And no, I don't know how the rover robot thing was assembled, but I'm sure there's some sort of screws and clamps and earthly type things. But there it is on another planet, being all advanced and stuff. Being all advanced and stuff. But other than, I mean, knowing that once you look at it, like these are man-made rivets. This is regular material that you've gotten from a Home Depot, and when you open it up, there's just like some regular wood and stuff inside. Probably some stamps of this is grade whatever MDF. Now, while Space Goonie's gone getting her laundry, we can talk about her. Oh man. I don't know if I trust a name like Mark Robber. Mark Rober. He didn't work on nothing. There's no robot. It's all CG. It's all a big hoax and scam. Like all of the things that are going on. This brush is too big. Now the other thing, those yes, hoaxes and lies, is again, like I don't go out. I haven't left in days. My laundry is still sitting in my bedroom. I made it to the front door and was like, nope, can't do it. Slid it back into the bedroom like 2 hours later, and then just drew a picture of Miley Cyrus with her boobs out. The uncensored version is on Twitter at Mr. Cartoons. Censored version is on Instagram at Mr. Cartoons. Miley Cyrus. Boobs exposed. All painty style. It's good stuff. I managed to do some things, but mostly, mostly just sat around doodling and watching the TV and trying my best not to be terrified of the world at large. And then yesterday, today, I already forget which. My friend Jordan, who did the music that used to be at the end of this. Yeah, the music. Excuse me. I made the music at the end of the stream now, but a little while ago, I had some music that Jordan had made for an old podcast that we did a long time ago, and whatever it was, he posted a thing, and somebody was like, "Nah," but really though, it's a hoax. Like, come on now. And Jordan was like, "No, I specifically work with a guy who not only got it, he got it after being super careful, like crazy careful. And by that I mean like he went outside, twice in the past 9 months to get groceries, and that's it. Like he hasn't gone anywhere, did anything. He got it. It was terrible. He survived. He's still alive. He popped up to comment on the thing, like, "Yep, that is correct. I did have it. It was terrible. But yeah, I survived. But now it is hard to breathe still, and it's months later. All these other problems, like you don't just get over it like the flu. It's like I've been, you know, in terrible condition for like whatever it was, a month or two, and then for another 3 months, still just like wish I could feel all the way better. So it's taking things like that into consideration. And again, not even the whole like, well, if I get it, I get it. Like, no, it's not just about you getting it. It is always about bringing wolves home to grandma's house. Like, just don't bring Corona wolves to grandma's house. Coors Silver Bullet wolves, yeah. I don't remember. Coors, a kangaroo? No, it was like a wolf surfing on a silver beer can. Anyway, one of the many things I remember as a kid, like all the kids have these Coors shirts of like this crazy cartoon character surfing on beer, and I'm like, how come I never have one of these? It's like, oh, they're free in beer cases. Like, oh, my dad doesn't really drink much beer. He drinks harder than that, so you don't get free stuff with vodka. Um, Maybe it was a few days ago. Either way, it added the to the anxiety. It added to just the overall fear of just like, yep. Not that I thought it was a hoax at any point in time, but you um, keep at least trying to convince yourself like it's A, not quite as bad, and B, hopefully I'm in an area that's still in a magical utopian bubble where stuff just isn't getting too out of hand. And then there were a few cases, i.e., it was at Walmart. And last week I already had my haircut, I believe. So last week was when my deep seated fear, paranoia, upsettedness really set in. Um, when because I got a haircut, and it was at the same time when they were getting back into the like, hey guys, like just necessities are necessities. Don't go wasting your time, or wasting other people's lives, and getting people killed by just doing dumb stuff or whatever. And I went and just got a haircut and felt super guilty for that because again, it's just like this is close proximity to people, and that just seems to be the place where COVID breeds. So when the notice came out that, by the way, there's a possible chance of transmission at Walmart, And so if you were at Walmart on this particular day at this particular time, now I don't know the exact time, but around that exact time was when I was getting my haircut and trying to decide, should I just run over to Walmart and grab a few things since I'm here? And it was like, no. No is the answer because it's gone Christmas shopping crazy and the parking lot is just flooded and I'm just like, there's no way. Like I already have a hard enough time when I pull into the parking lot of a place and I have to pass a bunch of cars before I park where I'm just like, oh god, can I get out of the car and go into this place right now? Yeah, I think I can. And a few times I have been just like, nope, and then I just drive back home again. Um, it's a it's a strange new world. So there was that, and then there was also at a Boston Pizza that I've never been to in this town anyway. So just those two things alone, just like all right, those two are on opposite ends of everywhere, and Walmart is still like the epicenter of everything. Everybody definitely goes to Walmart. So then I'm like, I gotta go to the laundromat and do some laundry. And that was like I had a plan for like all these things I was gonna do Saturday, and I spent half of the day just trying my best to get to the laundromat. And I'm just like, it's too late now. Like I can't do this. Like I physically and mentally can't do this. Like this is insane. Um, I'm normally not this bad at leaving the house. But this particular day, I'm just like, nope. That's all I can do is sit on my couch, uh, let random whatever TV shows play on YouTube and or Amazon, and and that's it. I'm just like, well, whatever. It was like grocery stores open on Sunday. I'll just go on Sunday and get groceries, and I'll do laundry some other day. Like I don't know, it'll happen. Don't worry about it. And Sunday came, and it's just like, grocery store is so close, but I can't. I just can't. Also, once again, ended up being in close proximity to people in the last few days, and still that adds to a certain level of anxiety. The weird thing about Taskmaster, so like on this season of Taskmaster, there's this guy Richard K. Herring, I believe is his name. And other than saying his name here, I never typed it. I never thought of it. I never read anything. I did follow some Taskmaster type stuff, like some people from Taskmaster, I believe, and Taskmaster on Instagram. But for some strange reason, almost every day when I'm scrolling through Instagram now, it's just like, here's a bunch of pictures of Richard K. Herring. Like, why? What? Why? How do you even know? What are you talking about, Instagram? Who is this guy? I only know him from this season of Taskmaster. This is insane. And only really since the episode, spoiler alert, where one of the tasks is they each have to read a different part of this weird little play, and thanks to social distancing, they film them all separately and then overlay them later on. Um, and so that episode, they did a thing where it's just like he just plays this one role while everybody else plays all the other roles, and they're like, all right. And then we do another one where he had to learn all of the roles and do them all separately, and then they cut them all together. So ever since that one, it's just like in my head, only in my head, not out loud. I'm just like, oh my god, like so much Richard K. Herring. Like I don't even know who this guy is, and this episode is jam packed, and it was fun, and I'm loving this Richard K. Herring filled episode, and that's great. None of it out loud. And then Instagram is all like, "Hey, was just busy reading your thoughts. Thought you might want to see what Richard K. Herring is up to." No, no, I don't. I want to know what he's up to. You know, I don't really care that much, but I kind of want to know what everybody's up to. But I'm also too lazy to look at the Instagrams or the internet. So if you could just relay everything that you see on the internet to me, that would be great. That's basically what I do here all the time. So it's convenient that you're here, and that's what we do. Um, but again, this season's still the weirdest season. You know, when I do watch it, I don't stop it when it goes and just starts playing another season on YouTube, and I'm just like, this 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 show is already crazy, but this season is so just like, how is it none of you have any idea what's going on here? You know, again, the James Acaster season is still the most amazing because James Acaster clearly watches the show and knows what's going on. Bob Mortimer season, Bob Mortimer is a crazy person and he's there to be crazy and he's having a great time. But most of the seasons, people seem to have at least some sort of grasp. And with this one, it's still just like, it still breaks my brain. The one where they had to make upside down videos of some kind, and then they show how Mulan did his upside down video, which was they just flipped the camera upside down and he made it look like he was hanging upside down, but it was just the camera, and then they flipped the puppet head, blah, 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 blah. So then after that, Catherine Parkinson is just like, oh, like, so wasn't that hard? And just like, in what way? I wasn't actually upside down. I was just standing there. It's like, but what about the thing? It's just like, no, well, wouldn't it have been easier to just be upside down? No, it wouldn't have been. How would it have been easier to just be upside down and like hanging out in space? That's just not possible. But it's so weird. And again, it's like realizing when I see Catherine Parkinson on Would I Lie to You and on some of the other things, the other British panel shows, I'm just like, oh yeah, she is a little bit out of her mind. Like she definitely, you know, she acts well and she's in all these things, but I'm starting to think that some of the jokes, some of the running gags in the IT crowd probably came directly from what did you just say, Catherine Parkinson? Did you just think that was real? Write that in. We're saying that in the show now because that's too funny and insane. But it's still like during the thing, her interaction with Alex Horn is still kind of my favorite because it's just extra crazy. The balloon drop thing. Every time she's like, "Well, we could do this," she's like, "What do you mean we?" And Alex just continually saying, "What do you mean we? This is your thing. It's not mine." I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. But then, yeah, exactly. When we go back to the dissemination of the tasks, she looks like she has been crying all day long and is about to cry even more. And I feel so bad for her. But at the same time, it is just like, you definitely don't want to do this. You're going to do like 10 talk shows and podcasts about how you were like, I had no idea it was going to be like this. Like, this is like season 10. You could have found out. You could have found out. I still can't wait until the Rose Matafeo, Ed Gamble season finally pops up on YouTube. But now the Space Goonies back. The Space Goonies story is Johnny Vegas's real name. Johnny Vegas is, and I'm pretty sure I kind of looked this up before, and I know that for some reason these British comedians just have completely different names from their actual names, and I don't. Like, Bob Mortimer's name is not Bob Mortimer, and Vic Reeves, his real name keeps popping to my head, because they say it all the time, but that's not their name. Jim Moyer is Vic Reeves' real name, and yeah, Bob Mortimer, I can't remember his real name. But Johnny Vegas's name it's not even John. It's not even Johnny. There's nothing even close. But it's Michael Joseph like Patterson or something like that. I looked that up today for some reason. I'm just like, what? Not Joe Vegas? Joey Vegas? Why Johnny Vegas? What? Matty Vegas? I don't know. Maddie Party? Weird. Weird, but that's showbiz. Showbiz is weird. Monoliths are popping up. Everybody, mass hysteria in the streets, on the news, in the news. I saw in my hometown, four people, maybe five people, gathered together to have like whatever, a civil rights, not a civil rights protest, but like a, hey, you don't have the right to tell us how to, like, if I want to be safe, then if you want to be safe, you can be safe. But if I want to not be safe, I have the right to not be safe. It's like, but that you're not safe, and this affects other people. And out of the five people, one lady specifically was like, I've been making signs pretty much since day one of quarantine, and I've just been waiting. Real sad that only five people showed up, but still, just these five old people walking down the street, looking like American maniacs, protesting that they don't want to wear masks. They want to go into restaurants if restaurants want to stay open. Um, but anyway, yeah. Speaking of Space Goonie adventures, I forget if I was just complaining about the world, or she was like, "Oh, hey, by the way, this is what my life is like." Um, but yeah, or just the whole mask thing. Some guy came into the store where Space Goonie works, and like I said last week, almost a day doesn't go by where people are like, "Take your mask down, let me look at you, show me your face." That's rule number one of old timey rules is you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And the 2020 version of that is don't ask me to take my mask off to look me in the mouth for whatever reason. My mouth is fine behind this mask. You don't need to. But the creepy thing is later on her Facebook or whatever, she gets like a message like, "Oh, there, now I see what you look like. It's me, the guy from the store you don't know. I tracked you down, and now I'm looking at you." Let me get a look at what's going on back there. And then Space Goonie accused him of being a stalker. Stalker much? And classic shitty old man style, he replied with, I know people who do this all the time, and I hate it. I hate it. And it's terrifying, especially if you're just checking your messages and somebody responds to, hey, this is stalker behavior. Like, yeah, I've been accused of that, like, twice before. Hilarious. So you know that I'm not a real stalker. I'm just a comedy, hilarious stalker. I just wanted to track you down and look at you. What's the big deal with that? I just wanted to look at you. I mean, what gives you the right to not let me see you because I just want to see what's going on back there? Like, that's just. There's nobody who can even. Ugh. I saw some other meme that said, had like a picture of a couple, and it said, like, hey, like, she really liked him. I really liked him for his sense of humor. I liked him because he was funny. And then it's like, rest of the relationship, I hate him because all he does is roast me with his hilariousness. That's that's the whole crux of the world. Like, people are just think they're being fun, and they're just being jerks. Not like me though. I'm just always fun, and everything I say is fun. It's just like, hey, how are your stupid glasses stupid? Because you look stupid, that's stupid. But I'm just being fun, and you know that that's fun, and that it's cool because I might be a little bit drunk with whatever's in this bug. There's no need to ask questions. We're all friends here. No, we're not all friends here. We're not all friends. And that's what it comes down to. There's no it hasn't been our day, our week, our month, or even our year. And sometimes you need somebody to be there for you when the rain starts to fall. But it's not some random stranger. It's definitely not some random stranger. Case in point, example, not to drift away from, hey, I'm talking about somebody else for once. Now let's bring it back around to me. But that's what I do. That's why I have a little show for myself. Still only on the first panel of roughing out an idea that I don't even have yet. But today, wait.
Oh, I want to jump in and talk about how, yes, sometimes you just want to look at a woman when she's not ready. So some of you just hire them going to dates and so you can walk in when they're getting changed. And that's okay. If they don't want to have an OnlyFans that I can subscribe to, I want to still be able to stalk them on Facebook or go to a thing that I own and pay lots of money and never get prosecuted for. Because I am the greatest winner in the world.
You're the worst. You're the worst. You're the opposite of a monolith. Oh my god, that guy. Why is he still here? No, kind of got really nervous today. Really weirded out. Dun dun dun! A Christmas card. Came in the mail. Red envelope with my name and my address on it. Normal. Everything normal. No return. No name. Who is this from? Who is this from? Seems like it's sparkly. It's not. Excuse me. Excuse me, baby Jesus. Excuse me some more. It's not a cheap card. Nice card stock. It's got some sparkles on it. And the painting is real nice. And I just realized just now that this little fox and this little reindeer. Focus. Focus. Can't get close enough. Anyway, they're building a little cat snowman, which is also kind of perfect. Adorable. And then I opened it up. And it says, may your holidays be filled with strangers and foot-long subs. And then there's a little doodle of a sub with a Santa hat on it. And I can't make out the name. Merry Christmas. And then the printed text, celebrate the season and enjoy your holidays. I will. I'll do my best. But first, real quick. I can't make out this name. I don't know what this name says. It kind of looks like it could be Daryl. Kind of looks like it could be David. Why would Daryl, who sometimes shows up in the stream. Hi, Daryl, if you're watching this later on. And exactly, it's just like, what is the inside joke? I don't go anywhere. I haven't been anywhere in forever, except Subway. I haven't, like, when I go places, I will end up in weird conversations with anybody behind a counter, especially at the post office. And occasionally the grocery store. But usually at Subway, there's glass, there's meats, there's vegetables, then there's a person, mask. They got headsets on. You're going through pretty quick. They're making several sandwiches at a time. You don't get a whole lot of focused, devoted energy towards you, so I can't just go, hey, let me tell you the hilarious thing that happened to me today, Subway guy, or let me get involved with the wackiness that happens. Also, Subway is where the wackiness always happens. Which is why I thought, like, well, who would... Is it somebody who watches the stream? Because I'm always talking about how Subway is where the weirdest things happen when every single time I go to Subway is something weird. Of a weird stranger doing something weird. And then, yeah, I'm just like, did somebody at Subway figure out my name? I didn't give anybody any stickers. I didn't give any postcards. I didn't mention that I do a stream. I didn't even said anything. Except for reacting to the weirdos doing weird stuff in Subway. And usually I don't do that. But that last time I did, and I already forget, go back 4 streams ago. You can watch everything on YouTube. It's all saved, and the audio resyncs up real nice. And then I kept looking at the name like, Daryl? David? David? It's gotta be David. Right? It's gotta be David. Filled with strangers. And the strangers part I kept coming back to for this is maybe 9 minutes of my life. Like no more than that. but about 6 to 9 minutes where I'm just like, oh, oh, okay, this is no longer a happy Christmas card. This is, who is this? Who is this? Like, are they saying I'm gonna be the stranger in your life? I'm coming for you. I have foot-long subs, and within the 9 minutes, I finally realized, oh, it's Dave or David. Of course, it's David, the guy who makes subs, the guy who was having me make a logo for his food truck business that he was going to start before the pandemic started, and I did a bunch of logos for him, and I said, like, by the way, I was like, I don't want any money. Just when this thing becomes a thing, I just want to stop by and get a sandwich and then walk away with a sandwich without paying for sandwiches. That's going to be our deal, Dave. That's going to be our deal. So I was like, okay, okay, calm down. But the other thing is just like, again, if David and Avril are watching, hey guys, thanks for watching. And this isn't as I'm overreacting, of course, because in those moments I didn't know who it was. Once I realized, it was like, oh, of course it's David. But it just says David. Why didn't you, where's Avril? I've talked to now. When I used to go to the market to sell artwork and books and whatnot, this lady Avril makes soaps and some other things that look amazing. Some of them smell really great. Others are super clean and designed not to give you rashes or have a bunch of extra stuff in them. I've talked to her for literally hours and hours and hours. I've talked to David a little bit. So other than it's just kind of weird that I'm just like, why is there a card from just, do we have a secret thing going on? What, does Avril hate me now because I don't go to the market anymore? Because I don't go anywhere anymore. Like, I'd love to. I'd really love to. It's like, I can't go anywhere. I made it down to the dumpster to throw a garbage Saturday, in my day of trying when I had 16 things to do. One of the things I managed to do was take the garbage to the dumpster and do the dishes. And at that point, I was like, all right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Really. Really. So that part of it just kind of threw me off for whatever reason. But in the end, like when I was recruited to make the logo, I was pretty excited. Just to be like, I don't know, something weird about me, but doing a food truck logo makes me happy. Like a local food truck logo, something about that I find extra exciting. What did I do at my job today? At my job today at Streamlabs OBS, if you want to stream in style, available for Mac and PC and all your mobile devices. It's amazing. It's amazing. They do so many things. But anyway, at my job at Streamlabs, I make custom artwork and stuff. So like when my alerts go off here, I do the same kind of thing, and like these overlays, I make them for people in the world that are like VIPs and fancy guys and girls, and everything in between. But today, I spent the day doing what I was very proud of, like an awesome, like crazy anime kind of sword-wielding version of Terry Crews's child, who is, I guess, like a Nickelodeon star. I'm an old man, so I don't follow Nickelodeon kids, no offense. So that's a thing that I was doing at my job today, is making sure his artwork is ready so that him and his dad, I believe they're already doing it, but Terry Crews and his son, they stream for charity and raise money and stuff. So it's like, that's cool. Meanwhile, I'm just as excited to do a logo for a local food truck. But like I said, as I was being recruited for the food truck, they did tell me, and I did already know, like, oh, like I have several kids. They're all in like web design, graphic design. They're all like artists and stuff. But it's just like, oh, but getting them to do something is impossible. Because they're my own kids. Why would they do that? So I'm going to get you to do it. So somewhere in the back of my head, somewhere in the front of my head, I mean, honestly, I feel like you came to the door and I was like, oh, yeah, no. They're totally going to use your logo. It's not gonna get sidestepped by a family logo. You stupid, stupid idiot. But yeah, absolutely correct. Um, I already knew that once I finish this, one of their artist kids is gonna go, oh, well, use this instead, father. And then the family's gonna vote to use that instead. So when he called me up to say, oh, by the way, I'm going a different way, but I'll still take care of you and stuff. Like, yeah, that's totally fine. Like, totally fine. I was not at all, surprised or put out. Just like, yep, I made a few things, but in the end, I already knew that you're definitely gonna go a different way with this before I even started. It's fine. It's totally fine. But I still can't quite figure out, unless he did some sort of reverse lookup on my phone number, or I don't know, maybe you can Google somebody's address, but the fact that it showed up in the mail with my address, I find a little bit weird. Just a little bit weird. But once I realized it was Dave, I'm like, that's fine. That's totally fine. Totally fine with that. But still, how'd you get my address? Okay. So, one of the things, I don't know, I'll say this really quick. Just for the sake of mentioning its existence. But flipping through the Amazon options of things to watch, and it popped up. There was, I think it was just the second season of the Alf cartoon, the Alf animated series from whenever that was, 1987, let's say. And I had just been watching something else recently that referenced Alf or something, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna at least throw on episode 1 and see what it looks like. I'm definitely not gonna make it through episode 1 unless it's amazing, but the description of the Alf TV series was basically something like, these evil guys are like trying to take control of the universe, of the galaxy, of Melmac. I don't know, but thankfully, like, Alf is there with his, his wisecracking, blah blah blah, and his friends, and they're gonna save the world. Like, is that what Alf was about? I feel like it was just him and his family sitting around watching TV most of the time. But it's been 1,000 years since I've seen Alf, the cartoon. So from that, I'm like, well, I gotta throw it on and see. And episode 1 was 100% sitcom, like, from A to B, except there was so many characters on screen all the time. Like, it's a family of like 5 plus an animal. And the first episode of season 2 was all about voting their mom, who they very much underappreciated as mom of the millennium. How I usually draw the legs. And then, oh, the hardships and the craziness of being a celebrity mom. Like, oh, mom, why can't you just make us dinner? Like, because we're famous now. Enjoy your fancy Chinese food. Like, oh, I miss the meals you used to make. Like, well, then you should have appreciated me the right way. Blah, 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 blah. But, so whatever. Story-wise, unwatchable. So painful. Wasn't funny at all at any point in time, ever. But the animation for Lisa's first episode was like, wow, this is like really detailed, like shading. They looked amazing. Like, Alf looked way better than Puppet Alf. His shirt has a bunch of just designs on it for no reason that somebody just got to track and hand animate all over the place. They look great from every angle. Like, this is like they looked really good. They moved a lot, and like I said, there was never less than like 5 characters on the screen, and they were always doing something. Um, just from like an animation standpoint, I was getting like ashamed of myself and exhausted by watching it, just because like, oh, it doesn't require any of this. It's borderline like it could be like an Archer type of cartoon, or like any of the cartoons now that are just like make your flash or your Toon Boom symbols, and it's just mouth movements and some head movements here and there. Nothing really happens in this whole thing, but so much stuff that is like everything was just over designed, but in a nice way. Everything looked great, but such a standard 80s cartoon. It's a slog to get through, and I'm sure it was like 20 minutes plus credits. But it was weird. But the best part of waking up was not Folgers in any cups. They were all like, "Oh my God, we're gonna miss our show. We're gonna miss our show. Get to the TV. We're gonna miss our show." And the show was half, not half. I think it was H. Yeah, like was it HLF? I think it was HALF for some reason. I don't even know. But I believe it was like human alien life form, because ALF stands for alien life form, but his actual name is Gordon Shumway. And in all of the Meme Live, following me. That's meme broken down twice. Um, so oh, thanks for the follow, but it totally broke my concentration. Um, I guess I should have double checked it and went back and written it down. But yeah, I guess it stood for human alien life form. So it was basically the ALF setup from the Puppet TV show. It's still drawn, so they're watching the show, and they're watching it for a long time. Again, nothing happens in the show. It's mostly them watching TV and asking for snacks and or eating snacks, and then Alf being mildly sarcastic about things. And it opens with Puppet Alf introducing the cartoon. So there's really not a whole lot of animation, I guess, so they can get away with a lot. So anyway, there's a family on the TV show that the Alf family is watching within the show that I'm watching about Alf. So we inception in, and they're all sitting around the couch, and behind the couch, drawn like a little finger puppet. Oh, I should go over there and grab that. Like a little hand puppet with little floppy arms is Willie. It's full on Willie. The voice is not Willie's voice for sure. I'm pretty sure it's just Alf, whoever's doing the Alf voice, doing Willie's voice. But it's the whole family just being like, oh, human, like, oh, come on now, like, or Malf, or whatever they're calling him, Half. And he's talking about like wanting to eat, human type stuff, and they're like, oh, that's gross. We're all gonna eat cats. Oh, and the intro is fantastic. The greatest thing about the 80s cartoons was the fact that all of the intros were on a level of Denver the Last Dinosaur, which we've talked about 1,000 times. Greatest theme song in the history of theme songs. But the Alf intro is so it's not as great as Denver the Last Dinosaur. That one is just rocking. Like that sucks me in and really makes me want to watch. And the Denver the Last Dinosaur show animation is garbage. The Alf intro animation, beautiful. As beautiful as the Denver intro. All the intros are always amazing. But yeah, it's very I want to say it's like gospel soul music. It's there's like 3 or 4 people. The cats are saying it's told like the intro is told from the perspective of the cats, who are the food, and it's just a planet where there's Alf, Melmacians, and cats, and all of the references to food are just weird cat references that sound disgusting. But the cats are not like just little cats. The cats are anthropomorphized. The cats are full blown. They're like taller. They're on par basically with Alf. So it's very much like, not even like this. Like if I was hunting down, it would be more like if I was to eat the Batman cartoon character. But it's like, oh, I don't know, like he's still like not a human. He's still some other thing. Yeah, maybe with the Milos. If Milo was taller, but it's very seems a little bit cannibalistic. It's real weird. But again, it's the '80s. You know, it's still in the days when the evil businessman shows up, he's still got a cigar and stuff and crazy effects smoke animation that, if you made a cartoon today, it'd just be like, what? No, you're not going to have a character smoking. Like, that's crazy town. Um, autosave. All right. Um, so that was mind bending. I don't know if I'll go back and try to find some other episodes or try to watch some other episodes to see if there's something else worth talking about. But beyond, like I said, like it's such 80s sitcom style, except animated. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle this. Um, like I remember being a kid and I didn't have cable, so there was a lot of cartoons that I never got to see. Um, but one, like I never saw the live action TV show My Favorite Martian, but then there was a cartoon version of it, and it was awful, and I didn't get it, and I didn't understand it, and it's just like this can only really be for um, the adults who already watch this show because it's weird, but again, really on the lines of a Flintstones, but it was just like, hey, the human wife and it was Bewitched. It was the same as Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie. And it's just like, oh, I've got these antennas and I also have magic powers, but mostly we're just standing around saying vaguely grown up-ish jokes of just like, hey, I'm gonna take the car to work today. Like, okay, honey, make sure to put gas in it though. Like, oh, I'm already gassy as it is because we ate those beans. Hey, what was that? I'm the wacky neighbor. Did you say something about beans? Because I'm the king of beans. Fart, fart. And then away they go. Like, it was just a show full of that, except probably less fart based. And I just remember just being like, what is this? What am I watching? Is this for me? Am I not good at watching Saturday morning cartoons? And I wasn't. But it's because I didn't have cable. I didn't know. I didn't understand that people were just making thousands of cartoons, and most of them only lasted for a few episodes. Um, if this, I think it switches over. I did want to show you some of my work. Nope. I have to go file open. Oh, there we go. Let's go to my Streamlabs folder. See some of the Streamlabs work I've been doing. Oh, I thought this was funny. Flipping through my Instagram today, and it said Young Ma, the rapper, explains her driving infraction or whatever. Explains being arrested for reckless driving, and I'm like, hey, I just finished her artwork for her stream because she's a famous person, and wow, this is crazy. So it's like it's really weird because I have to search for a lot of people. I see a lot of things that I just wouldn't normally see, but I thought that was like, oh, cool. So there's been a handful of people that I've done artwork for that's like, here's the news on these people. The other funny thing was, oh, is this gonna? Oh, I'll just have to open it like this. Go with the original version. If I still have it, why can't I find anything? Go with this. So Matthew K. Heafy of Kichi Chaos. This isn't the version that he has on his thing. This is another version, but I really enjoy this version myself, but I revised it so on his stream, like right now, there's a different one with a more Christmassy background. Oh, this isn't gonna play at all. um, all right, easy. I'm gonna go grab a folder over here. Back. I'm gonna go in my Streamlabs folder. Close this. Close this. Back to my Matt Heavey. Let's just look at his real one then. Overlays. Stream starting soon. That'll open up over here. Grab this, move it down here. Bam. Close this. And in theory, I should be able to. I don't know if I updated this screen. Tablet screen. There we go. So, loop, then loop. So this is his starting and be right back screen. Noah's following, shaking his little present. I see you, Matt. Shaking that present. Oh, shaking that present. Okay, yeah. I didn't. Just hide. This. Hide. Milo. Yep. And close enough. Anyway, I was real happy with that. He's got it up on his stream now. Now I'll go back to regular camera. Then I'll close this. That's a thing that I do at work. So yeah, sometimes when Christmas comes around or when holidays come around, we got to do holiday versions. But he was pretty happy with the little character. He didn't have a whole lot of changes for it, and it was a good day. It was a good day, but like I mentioned last week, I almost pretty much usually get excited when Matt Heafy pops up looking for stuff. I've still yet to really listen to his music. It's metal. It's some heavy metal stuff. If you are into guitars and things, he's got like 5 cameras, one on him and another one on like all the different parts of his guitar, so you can really see all of the shredding that he does. But he is quite amazing. His Instagram seems fairly interesting as well. Excuse me. Oh, my water is right here. Why don't I just drink some? That's some of the stuff that I do at work. I'm gonna try and show some more of the finished and improved things on the stream every once in a while. I always forget that I can do that, but sometimes I don't know. I finished off today's juice, and the reason I had to go to the grocery store before today's stream was so that tomorrow morning I can make some more juice and not, feel like the world is going to end and starve to death or slash, I don't know. I don't have any junk food left, and I didn't get a bunch of junk food this time. I got a bunch of clementines and bananas and apples and a bunch of non-meat, plant-based meat type things, and whatever. So today's juice did have, what did I have left? It had strawberries. It had parsley. I had some parsley. There's some carrots in it. And then deliciously purple juice, which once again says it's got like a bunch of 7 servings of fruit and or vegetables in it. It definitely doesn't, because the nutritional factoids has nothing. It has 0 for almost everything. So everything's a lie, and there's no points. But better than just water. Really adds some flavor. And then I think I had some frozen spinach in it. And I think that's it. Oh, and some mandarin oranges. I threw some of those in there as well before they all went bad. But I finished off my juice before the stream, and I'm like, I got no juice to make juice with. I got no frozen berries left. I don't have any frozen kale left. I don't have any lemons left. I don't have any of the things. I should get some hemp seeds or some flax seeds to put in it, because the last bag of hemp and or flax and chia was the other one. I should get some of those to put in there because they're loaded with protein and fiber and all that stuff, and they really fortify your juice and make it so you gotta chew it sometimes. All right. Sometimes when you want to copy and paste things. If I don't fortify my juice stream, then what? Then what? Gotta have all the essential vitamins and nutrients. Let's go back to the right camera. Um, and the other thing, I did have a big long story. Uh, why not? So sometime last week, my friend down the hallway got evicted because our landlord is not the greatest person in the world, and he took literally the last available place to live in the world. He watches the stream sometimes um, when he's not too busy working like crazy. I just ran into him when I did go to the grocery store. He's basically been one of the few people that I've physically been in contact with in the last few months. So he was like, "Hey, can I recruit you to help me move some stuff?" Like, sure. Uh, no big deal. Like, my uncle's coming with a truck. Let's load some stuff down to the truck. Like, yep. And in my head, I was thinking, I'm just gonna load some stuff down to the truck. When they come back, maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. I'm not promising myself to anything. I'm also still languishing in the same paranoid delusions that I had from the weekend before of I can't go outside, I can't be around people. I am terrified of the world more than I've ever been in my entire life. But if someone needs help, I had a big discussion with my mom on the phone about this last week of how many times have I helped somebody maybe steal something or get away with something just because they're like, can you help us out with this? Hey, people trying to awkwardly take a couch out of an apartment building and then roll it down the street. I'll help you out with that. I'm going to assume you're not robbing that place because you need help and I'm here to help. So John's like, yeah, can I get some help? Of course. Of course. So uncle shows up, start grabbing stuff, loading it in the truck. The uncle's like, oh, like I've got a bad foot. Oh my god, of course you do. So my original plan of, yeah, I'll move some stuff, that I'm fully gonna bail on this. No offense to anybody, I think some other people are coming to help. But they didn't. So I'm like, oh, and this guy's got a bad foot. I can't bail on these guys. Like, I've got to keep helping. That's not cool. I do have other things to do, and this is not even remotely in my plans for the day. But I can't. There's no way. I can't just let these. They're already, going through a bad situation. Help is the only thing that I can offer at this point in time. So help is what I will give. Didn't really eat much that day, except for juice, and I was starving. I was so hungry. It was like I just had crackers and granola bars. I was planning on making like tacos and stuff, and then the time just didn't work out. So I'm like, I'm so hungry. So I moved a bunch of stuff, and then they're like going over to the other place and like, I can't let you just do this guy on your own. This isn't cool. So I'm like, well, where are you moving? Give me your address and I'll meet you guys over there. I'll go jump in my car and head over there. So I go over there. It's just down the street from where my old apartment used to be. Um, and no, juice is not a meal. Although my juice is usually quite hearty and you do have to chew it, that day's juice was not that fortified. So it was mostly just juice. It wasn't, it wasn't just thick with most days it's like eating 3 salads blended up that I drink all day. So, but this particular day, it wasn't the heartiest juice. So it wasn't a soup that ate like a meal. Um, since I'm talking too much, I'm just copy and pasting and then modifying pictures over here instead of drawing new stuff. Um, so I was just like so hungry. So whatever. It's like we got to go down 2 long, steep flights of stairs that are always just treacherous and dangerous. And it was raining. And it was raining. We get to the other apartment, and I'm like, I can't let you guys do this on your own. As I get out of the place or get out of here, I realize I could have loaded stuff in my own car as well. Too late now. Better go help. Get it to the apartment there, and just like this can't be as insane as I think it is. It just can't be as insane as I think it is. Is it as insane as I think it is, Pat? Seriously, it is as insane as I could possibly imagine. The uncle's looking at me like, hey, you're an adult. Like, that's my age as well. We know what's going on. And this isn't cool, right? And she's like, nope, this is wicked not cool. This is definitely not legally rentable. Like, nobody should live here. Nobody should live here for so many reasons. But reason number one, unfold my leg. Gotta stop doing that. So first I pull up, and to describe what I was greeted with was, oh, I've made a terrible mistake. I definitely should have stayed home and not come to help out with this side of the move, but also not helping with this side of the move would have been just so mean, just horrific. Like, it's definitely the hardest part. So pull up, and the truck is in like the driveway, and then there's a wall, and the uncle and John, they're loading stuff from the back of the truck up on top of this wall that's like 5 foot something. It's about my height, I guess. So he's from the back of the truck. It's more convenient to just lift it up onto top of this hill. Then there's this hill that's, let's say 15 feet from the back of from the edge of this wall. You go up a way too steep, wet grass / mudslidey hill to this step that comes up, and it's just kind of like a normal wooden flat deck, just a normal step. No big deal, but it comes back towards the wall. Then there's a door going to an apartment. We're not going there. Past that door, there's like a fire escape stairway, like a spiral metal stairway that I would say you should only use in an emergency at best. And even then, I'm going to find another way. And I'm looking around like, there's an indoor door, right? Like, there's no way. I don't think I can help you guys. I can't walk up those stairs. Like, I can't do this. And that's all I'm going through in my head of just like, I'll grab a box and I'll see if I can make it up these stairs. But I'm looking at the stairs, and once again, I'm going to mentally shut down, and somebody might have to somehow guide me back down the stairs, because I don't know if I can get up these stairs. So you go up a steep hill full of mud, sliding down that all the time. And then go up the stairway, fine. And then and then there's this spiral thing that's another story or a story and a half up to the second floor or third floor, however this thing is set up. And this first 3 stairs, so there's like a spire up the middle, and up the middle of the spire, the rungs or the stairs actually come out, and they're just like sheets of metal that go up in a circle. And then there's a railing that goes around, and then rungs that come down, maybe 2 rungs per stair that connect the outside of each stairway to the railing. And the first 3 or 4 steps, they're not connected to anything. They come from the pole and then they go up to the railing. They don't go down to the ground, and they don't have any extra support underneath. As you go up around, most of the other stairs have an added bar underneath each stair. So I'm like a little more okay with that. And it feels solid. Like I get on there and I'm just like, can I do this? Can I do this? All right, like it's not moving. I guess I can do this, maybe. But let's see. It's very narrow. There's not a whole lot of space carrying things. I'm bruised everywhere. Like just banging my knees off of all the stairs and then carrying things and banging those off my arms. And I'm just covered in bruises. So downstairs and then up these stairs. So first try to go up the stairs, and I get like 3 steps away from the top, and that's it. I'm just kind of frozen there for a minute, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can do this. And I'm definitely saying it out loud, like, I don't know if I can do this. My legs are shaking, my hands are shaking. I'm just gonna throw up and run away. Like, I don't know if I can do this. And then John or somebody's looking at me like, are you okay? And I'm just like, don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm just going to have to take a minute to look at this, feel how sturdy this is. And of course, like I said, you came back towards the under end of the step. So now this thing is also hanging out in space over the step, over that wall. So it's a drop. It's a drop and a half. There isn't a proper way to get to this back doorway. There's a stairway that goes up the front, kind of a walkway that stops, and then there's just like a weird rocky ledge that's just dangerous. And you can go around the back of the building, which is fine, but you're just walking on this wet grass. It's okay, but there isn't a proper walkway. I'm at the top, and I'm basically just trying to figure out, like, do I slowly go back down, or do I take the 4 steps up and go in? And I'm looking, so there's the landing area that's, probably 2 of these chairs. And that's like just barely, like there's like 2 bolts, like maybe 4 carriage bolts holding this step to the wall, and that's it. Like that's it. I was like, this thing seems like if I started kicking, like I could probably dislodge this thing, right? I mean, what is this? Should I be here? And again, it's just like, just stay out of your own head. Like, just don't do this. Jed, leave that to me. I'll be in your head reminding you that every breath you take could shake this thing down. Every step you make, nobody's watching you. Nobody's here to save you. This could be your last hurrah. But I mean, at least it's for the valiant effort of helping someone move into a place that you beg them to please find a new place as soon as possible. This is not suitable for human consumption. And it's true. It's true. So I did get to the top. And thankfully, that was the other thing too. It was just like, it's December. It's December. It was rainy, but it was just like, normally when I move stuff, it starts snowing. That's just what happens. And thankfully, it wasn't freezing out. So we could move everything. I was wearing a mask. Other people were not wearing a mask. This other dude did show up, and thank God. So he showed up, and we had a bit of a supply chain thing going, where Uncle drops it from the truck. Other guy brings it to the step and then passes it up the stairs, and then I pass it from the stairs. So I ended up though at the top of the stairs. I'm just like, how is it I'm in this position? Like, I can't handle this position in any way, shape, or form. But it's for other people, so no big deal. So I did make it up past the stairs. I went into this little bachelor apartment that was genuinely, like, you can't tell how big this office is, but it was like 2 of my offices. Like, it's so small for the amount of stuff that we were loading in there that I'm just like, this isn't cool. And just everything about the apartment was clearly like, whoever owns this building belongs in jail. Everything in here is broken. Everything in here is not good enough for anybody. And I realize it's dire straits. You got to take whatever's available right now. But man, I was like, I'm just in my head trying to come up with, there has to be a better way. There's got to be something that I can do. But I couldn't, the only thing I could come up with was, what if I call my landlord and be like, hey, how much do they owe? I'll just pay it. Can I just pay off what they owe or whatever it is and get them back in here and risk not being able to pay my own rent? But I'm just like, this is just unacceptable. Like, this is just not acceptable for anybody. But they were like, seemingly like, yep, this is what we got to do. We are gonna look for some place right away. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. After forever, like until 10:30, just loading, coming back and forth. And I'm like, I'm not giving up. The guy who showed up to help was like, that's as far as I can go. I physically can't lift anymore. Like, okay, cool. You were a great help. I gave him a drive home. Like, thanks a lot. It did make a huge difference. But I'm also in my own head just being like, I have already surpassed my physical abilities. I have done no real physical anything in 9 months, like at all, Like this is, I don't know if I can handle this. So like I said, it's like I'm at a point where it's like my legs are shaking, and I'm like, I don't know how much more of this I can do, but I will not give up. So on the way back, I ran into Dairy Queen. I got a cheeseburger, both cheese and meat. Haven't had that in a little while. Wow, amazing. Um, Dairy Queen French fries, never amazing. Sorry, Dairy Queen. Hate to get super serious on you, but your hot eats aren't the greatest. They're fine. They're fine, and they were on the way, but the McDonald's that was down the street is no longer there, so you were the thing. But, I don't hate Dairy Queen, but I don't love Dairy Queen. So I snuck into Dairy Queen, jammed some food in my face, then parked my car on the other side of the building and loaded stuff into my car. So now we were doing two loads at once, and we were heroes. But yeah, so we went through all that, but mostly the insanity is just the fact that it's just like, yep, bachelor apartments exist. It's too small for two people and several animals. I do not envy them. I don't know how they're doing it without murdering each other. Um, but I genuinely, if I had like, and again, if you're watching, John, no offense, you're doing the best that you can. But I would have been in absolute tears the entire move. There's no way I would have been just like, yep, this is great. Like this is terrible. Like this is atrocious. But mostly it was the fact that I'm like, there would be days I know for a fact where I would not be able to get down those stairs. I would be trapped at the top because every once in a while with wacky stairways like that, there's been several in my life that I do end up just stuck there where I'm like, I can't do this right now. I've just hit a fit of knowing and seeing, final destinationing myself like down these stairs, and I can't do it, and I'm just gonna lose my mind. Uh, but they seem totally fine with those stairs. I'm like, all right, that's cool. But mostly just the fact that I'm like, wow, there are too many apartment buildings, too many rentable places in this town specifically, and I know it's everywhere, but in this town that are just fully just like, this is unacceptable. Yeah, my last apartment that I lived in, I did a bunch of stuff to that. Was it up to code? No. It was just me going to the hardware store, getting a pile of spray foam insulation that expands, and a pile of caulking that doesn't expand, and caulking in everything, filling every nook and cranny and crevice with bug poison, and then spray insulating over that because the entire front half of my apartment, from kitchen to living room, giant space, big, amazing open space. The old streams, if you go back far enough, that's where they take place. Is in this place, and when I get down on the floor, I can see daylight between the floor and the wall. Like I can see there's a hole, and it's like this needs insulation. Then I am just like I can fully get my fingers out there, and I can feel concrete. I can feel the asphalt of the thing. If I really wanted to, I could probably flick a little pebble and hit my own car outside of my own apartment. Great part was any groceries, I just bring them right in. It was awesome, and heat was included. So once I spray foam insulated everything, there wasn't any draft or whatever. But I did assume that it's like eventually this place is gonna flood. This street is gonna fill with snow, and it's all gonna come in here. There's no way around it. So every time it would snow, I was the only one that went out and shoveled, and I would make sure to make a big trench around the whole front of the building so that water doesn't get in. and we all survived. My friends Mike and Holly, who used to have this apartment before they moved back to California, their apartment that they finally gave up on before they found this one was filled with pigeons. It was drafty. They just had space heaters everywhere. It just seemed like the most dangerous way to live because it was just impossible to heat. And then after a while, just the amount of pigeons in the ceiling got to be too much. And similarly, only Space Goonie and Pat might remember, but when I first started the stream, when I was like, I gotta get out of this place. One day, on a non-rainy day, in my own apartment, also pigeons in the ceiling, but I was on the first floor, so I still had apartments above me, but I could still hear the pigeons coming and going all the time. It was quite annoying. But one day, it wasn't raining. It wasn't raining. And then all of a sudden, in my front door, just whoosh, a bunch of water just came down from between the walls, and just like, I don't know how this happened. I don't know. I have to get out of here. The people upstairs are maniacs, and water's coming in from wherever, and there's a hole between the floor and the wall. Yeah, those guys were they had the giant cat that would stomp around that sounded like a baby lion. So yeah, and even this building is still crazy. Because in telling Space Goonie about moving other people, while I was moving other people, I was like, anyway, like it sucks because like they were quiet people. I never had any apartment problems from John, and he refers to me, excuse me, as one of the reasonable people. Like when my pictures in the hallway went missing because somebody stole them, he was like, "Oh no, like Curtis is moving. He's one of the reasonable people. He doesn't run screaming through the hallways, uh, or destroy apartments in the middle of the night." So I say to Space Goonie, ticka 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 ticka, like, regardless, like a lot of people have left, and recently it seems to be mostly quieter people moving into the building now. So like whatever my last message was, like it's a lot quieter these days. I forget that that's the last message that I sent. And then on Saturday night, I want to say, I think it was Saturday, maybe it was Friday. Outside at some point, I was in here with my headphones on, working on stuff, and I could hear like yelling, and I look outside, and there's a woman taking a pee in the backyard. I assume. I don't think I put my glasses on, but they were just yelling drunkenly. There was a handful of people, and then it seemed like uh, they either didn't want to get in their cab or it was the wrong cab. Something happened, but they would rather pee in the backyard than go wherever they were going. But still, it was just like, what is even going on? Is this a party? What is everyone doing? I'm over here spending the entire day literally terrified to go anywhere. I just want to go to the grocery store and I want to go do laundry, and I can't physically do it. I am losing my mind. And these people are having a drunken festival of fun, it sounds like. And I forget about it. Completely forget about it. Time passes. I don't know what time it is. I was just watching TV, falling asleep, letting YouTube play stuff or whatever, and then finally take my headphones out, go to bed, and all of a sudden, I was just like, did this just start now? Or was it because I had my headphones on? There's a thump, 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 and then screaming, just a woman screaming, and then a man yelling like no, and like it sounds both like the man is trying to defend himself from this woman who's just like, I'm flipping out and I'm gonna just destroy this place, and he's like basically yelling like, I'm not gonna hit you, I don't want to hurt you, like please just stop. I'm just gonna hold your arms, like I'm just holding your arms down, and I think he was trying to call the police. I'm not sure. Um, and whatever. So something's going on, but it is violent. Whatever it is thumping right above me, and I'm just like, what? Well, I just finished saying that the building's got more quiet, and new people are upstairs, and everybody's been quiet up there for the last like quite a while now. So who are these? Who are these new loud people? But it was just so loud and so violent that I'm just like, okay, I guess it's my turn to call the police. Like I'm not going up there, cause the voice at least and the sound of the thumping sounds like at least one of these people are big and strong enough that they could just throw me as far as they wanted to. So this is I can't. I'm not, and I've kind of learned my lesson from the last few times I went and tried to help on my own. So I called the police and just like, hey, I don't know, I'm on this floor. This is what's happening up above me. I don't know if you can hear just through the phone right now, but there's definitely screaming. It sounds like somebody is in trouble. I'm not gonna assume anything. Maybe it is just a normal screaming fight, but it sounds like something terrible is going down and somebody needs help. Please go help. And a few minutes pass, police show up, and I don't even realize a bunch of police show up. So I'd like to believe that from what I could hear and from what the police told me when they called me back, to tell me like, here's what happened, like, yeah, I know, I can hear everything, that's why I called the police. um that The woman did live upstairs, because I thought it was like, did you just have a date and now you're not letting this woman leave? Like, what is going on? Who are you people? And I still, at this point, I couldn't, if they walked in front of me, I couldn't point them out and go, oh, you're the new people that live in this apartment. And it's always this apartment, though. And what I said to Space Goonie, it's like, it has to be, like, everybody talks about how this building is haunted. It used to be a hospital. It's got a lot of weird, dark stories about it. And maybe it is that apartment. Maybe that's the apartment 23 of is that the Stephen King one? But maybe it's the Stephen King apartment up there, because it's always that apartment. So, it turns out that, yeah, like, the girl did need help. Or woman, no idea. Everyone seems like a child to me now. I'm old. But basically, she was having a medical issue. And, sometimes when you're having a medical issue and you get drunk instead, you go wicked crazy. So she was having some trouble, and I guess the guy was trying to call the police himself, but he was too busy trying to defend and whatever. So I could plainly hear him. Like they brought him downstairs to talk to him, so they were like pretty much outside my door, and he's just like, "Yep, this, and this, and this." And I was trying to like basically call for help when they were trying to get into the car earlier, was to get her to the hospital because she did need help, and blah 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 blah. Trying to just deal with things on their own, I guess, or not deal with things on their own. But it sounded like, I've complained before about these situations, especially at West and whatever, where police are called to check on somebody to help them, and instead they beat them nearly to death or to death. And that's why I'm already afraid. But so far, at least with my experiences in this building, the police in Truro have all been awesome and helpful. Or at least they didn't start more trouble. They'll come to the door and then leave again after they tell people to be quiet. But in this case, it was like, this girl, somebody needs help up there. Please help. And you could hear, because they brought a bunch of people, it was like, I think they actually did the thing that they say they're going to be doing, where they brought like a social worker type person or something. Like they actually talked to everyone and then they took her to the hospital, like instead of beating somebody and then arresting them for needing help. So I was pretty happy about that. So when the police called me back, I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, that's fantastic. It was like, as long as nobody is being held captive and somebody got help, like that's great. And they're like, yep, it was, thanks for calling. And, like that guy was trying to, but he basically couldn't get to the phone. So you really did help out. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Like nobody's gonna be, you know, like uh like long when I first moved in and that guy was freaking out and accused me of uppercutting him and fighting him and smashing his phone. I'm just like, dog, I don't even know who you were talking to or fighting with last night, but nobody was here. Pretty sure you were fighting with yourself. Um, but after the police and the landlord came to kick that guy out, he went into the hallway and screamed like, "You bunch of traitors! Why don't you come say it to my face and fight me?" Like, no, that's why we don't say stuff to your face, because you want to fight us. You've got to go. You're out of control up there. This is I'm not Tony Danza. It's not my job to get you back into control. So it's been a little while since the building itself has been super insane. Um, but it was. But then it was. How long have I been doing this? 10:30. Oh man, I talk a lot. So anyway, I'll work on this later in the week or save. I never save it for next week. But basically, I think this week's dialogue will be somewhere along the lines of, "Hey, it's one of those monoliths," and and then I don't know. I'm like, "Yep. What should we do about it?" And then Milo's like, "I don't know. Maybe we should worship it. Should we start worshiping it?" And and then I'm like, "Well, I already have this like whatever. I love you, monolith shirt." And Milo was like, "Oh, I already have this monolith hat," and something like that. I don't know. I'll come up with slightly more clever dialogue, but that's what we're gonna go with. I'm gonna start cleaning it up though, anyway. And the other thing, before I do wrap up, some other TV watching based thing. I make a note about that. Oh, yes, that's what it was. So, I ended up having a big long conversation with Tim about this. I think I sent it to Space Goonie too. I sent it to a handful of people because I'm just like, what am I looking at right now? I need to share this with people, but I'm not sharing it publicly. I don't want to get in a weird internet fight. But Three's Company was the craziest show ever. And, It was. It just was. It was still one of my favorite shows when I was younger, and then later on, rewatching it when it was on like the Comedy Channel, when I was an adult, and it's still like this show is insane. Like, how did this ever even get made? Like, all of the premises are so just immediately outdated and unacceptable. But this one episode, or this one clip that it had on Instagram was yeah, this branches off into two things: a real life thing and then the show. So on the show, we've all seen this. It's been a joke, joke as old as time, gag as old as rhyme, mistletoe, and the Catwoman Batman. The Jack comes out, he's got like a headband on with a mistletoe in it. Does he walk up to one of the girls that he lives with and is like, hey, like I've got mistletoe, hmm? And then they do the standard like, that'll never work, you weird pervert. No. He comes out with the mistletoe and he just fully grabs Janet and he like hard kisses her. Like hard, like borderline making out kisses her. And it's just like, and they let go in that way where they're both like, oh, like what just happened? Like you were just fully assaulted in your own home by Jack Tripper, the nicest guy in the world. And that's the only way he's getting away with it is because he's Jack Tripper. Like in some instances, I could possibly get away with something like that. Like in 4 instances in the whole world. But outside of that, it's just like, no, unacceptable. Nobody knows that you're a nice, helpful person. And even in this case, just like, what are you doing right now? So, and then Chrissy's underneath the tree, putting decorations on the tree. She turns around like, what's going on? And then he grabs her and does the same thing, like a hard, long kiss. And it's just like, that's not right. And then, I believe Janet or whatever, one of them takes it and breaks it like, you're too dangerous with this thing. And then he grabs another one and pulls it out. And then I believe he grabs another one of them for a second time and gives them another hard like so hard that like when they like they fall back like they're being hit with a they've just been hit with a paintball gun or something. Like this is 1,000% Christmas themed assault and everyone's acting like it's 1982 whenever Three's Company takes place. Like that's the way things are. Upstairs is this guy named Larry. He's clearly a rapist. And like I posited to Tim that the Regal Beagle, where everyone goes, like based on everyone's stories, like one, Larry is fully just taking advantage of women. Like that's the joke, is I make up a fake persona, but 90% of the time he gives a real name. Not only a real name, he gives Jack's name. And he gives Jack's like phone and address because they always show up. The husbands of these women always show up. The women that he's taking advantage always show up. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's like I'm pretty sure that bar downstairs that they just auto roofie every woman's drink. Like every woman starts off every night just getting roofied for sure. Like there's way too much casual acceptance of all of this to just be like, that's just how we are. This is just like, no, people just aren't like this. You're all being roofied. And Tim was like, oh, that's probably why Suzanne Summers was such a dumb ditz all the time. Like, she wasn't stupid. She was just in a constant roofie haze, probably. Like, she was always being roofied, so that she just never came around to being, 100%. And just like, oh my god, like, that makes so much sense. I'm not even gonna take it as a hilarious premise or a wacky observation about the show. It's like, nope, that sounds, 100%. But thanks to, why is my voice so high this entire episode? But thanks to that, shows like that, as a kid, I was definitely afraid of mistletoe, like having it explained to me as a kid. I was like, oh, it's just this plant. Sometimes people hang it somewhere, and then you're supposed to kiss somebody or get kissed underneath the mistletoe. Like that sounds kind of unacceptable. And then just the fact is like I don't want to go to Christmas parties. I don't want to go to weird events for especially for school. Like just the idea of some creepy teacher. Oh my god. Okay. Did about as much flashing as I can. It started lagging again. But just the idea, and it is like, oh, that's the fear. That's the fear that every woman has always and constantly, that some dude is just gonna grab them and start making out with them.
No, since when is it not okay to just grab somebody and talk about kissing them? You just have to have enough money to pay them off, or even be a powerful person to just grab and grab and kiss. That's just the American way.
It is not. It's not. You're awful. But yeah, that's what I thought was like, oh, there's basically this part of society, this just rule over the holidays, the most wonderful time of the year where there's gonna be some weird old men that are just like lurking around, and or creepy old ladies lurking around a mistletoe waiting to prey on, and in this case, me, I guess. Like I was just a terrified kid. Or the other side is, am I going to be ridiculed? Am I going to be belittled out of society because I am on the lookout because I don't want to be like, oh, we're trapped under the mistletoe. I have to do this. Or else, I get hazed by the rest of society, I guess. I don't understand the world, but that plant means I have to assault you now? Sorry? I'm already trying to spend half my life keeping my distance from people? But no, no, now this is assault time? So I was just always just kind of afraid of mistletoe. And turns out it's even, no, it's deadly if you eat it, but it's even deadlier if you mean it. And the darker side of that, I think, is not, oh, we fell in love under the mistletoe. The dark side is the weirdos, and we end streams how we start, and we try to bookend, is the people, like the people in your neighborhood that come into your store and stalk you later on. Like the guy from Space Goonies store adventure, he's definitely one of those people that are just like, I brought in a mistletoe. I've been carrying it all around town to see what I can make happen. And that's terrifying. That's terrifying. And of course, you just watch the news for any length of time, and you can see that, with the Brett Kavanaugh trial, that wasn't even a trial, that was his job interview. But with those types of things that are like, there's a lot of people out there that are still trying to plead the boys will be boys, and it's just all in good fun when it's like people don't feel good about that. My cousin posted this pile of text, this little dissertation about a woman telling a story about her daughter, and how like her father-in-law or whatever is like the kid's grandpa was all like, I'm gonna tickle you and poke at you and whatever, and the kid is clearly doesn't like it, and the mom just being like, if you don't like it, tell him to step off, tell him to back off, this is my body, please respect my body space, my body needs space. And the little girl just being like, I'm afraid to say that, can you tell grandpa that I don't want to feel molested? But I realize that in his world, in his head, I'm just having fun, I'm just tickling and poking, this is what we do. But some people are just like, please don't, you are ruining the rest of my week with this 5 minutes of tickling. And I was very tempted, I have written this before, but I was very tempted to just be like, hey Ryan, remember how when we were kids, and maybe you weren't there for this, but I was always told, like, you gotta get used to it. You gotta get used to it. Like, you're gonna get held down and tickled by people. You gotta get used to it. Like, no, you all have to get used to boundaries. And now that we are living in the future, all of those same people have started living in the present day, and they're posting these same articles of, hey, you gotta respect the boundaries of children and strangers and even people in your family, even though you think, this is my kid. I still get to fun around with it. And as much as you might not mean any harm by it, it still might not read that way. Like I always said, I was just like, I can't handle being tickled. It is just like, I'm not gonna fight you, but what I'm telling you is like every fiber of my being is telling me to grab you by the throat and jam my fingers in your eyes until you are dead and I survive this altercation. But I don't have the ability to do that, so I will just sit here and I will take it until you are done. Like the fake Sean Bean character said on 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, when he said, I'll hit you until I pass out. And it's just like, that's how I feel. It's just like, ugh, I can't just take this until everyone else passes out. But now I'm old and fermenting quite nicely. And most of those people are now too old and or out of shape to make me feel scared anymore. So when I do go home at Christmas time, when that's an option and you can see all your family, instead of in my head just thinking, "Oh my God, I can't believe you guys are turning on the hockey game during our family Christmas party thing," instead of having the Christmas fireplace channel on. I'm enjoying the Christmas fireplace channel, and instead of just sitting there going, "That's not cool. Too bad I wasn't like one of these adults," and I could just say what's right. But now I am. Now I am one of these silly adults. So last Christmas or the Christmas before, I have no idea how many years have passed since the last time things have happened. But last Christmas, when I came back into the living room, was eating handfuls of cheese and crackers, which, oh man, was a great old farty time to sleep off later on. But I came back in the room, and the hockey game was on. And oh, which song did I do it to? And I can't remember the words. This is like easily a year ago, if not two. But I was just like, uh, it's always Winter Wonderland usually. But I was just like, hey, so you're gonna throw on the hockey game while you're here with your family? Maybe you should put on Christmas songs, or I'll just sing some more, all up in the face of you. But I had better rhymes. I was pretty impressed with myself, and my uncle just stared at me like, "What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?" And I think it might have said something along the lines of like, "Yeah, yeah, what's wrong with me? But still, who cares about the hockey game right now? We're all here. We're about to play some games. We got this great food. A lot of us have come a long way to see everybody. And really, you're gonna be like going, ah, ah. I don't need a bunch of old men growling at a sporting event." Oh, you know what I did say? I think I said, it was like, don't look at me like I'm crazy. I'm in the right here. I'm the one singing a Christmas song, making up a Christmas song just for you in during the holiday season. And I mean, it's hockey. Technically, it's a winter sport, but it's like you're watching the TV. The thing you used to yell. Remember how when we were kids and you would yell at us, hey, do some stuff? Remember when we used to get together? This party used to specifically be everybody gathered around in a circle singing along with hallowed um, excuse me holiday favorites with Nanny and or Poppy or whoever. I think it was Nanny would do it and would be singing, and we'd all gather around and sing along. And we don't do that anymore. So I'm doing it right now, forcing it on you, because just like back when we did it with Nanny, I was terrified as well. It's just like I don't know the words to any of these songs, and they really want you to sing along, and I just don't know. I don't know any of these Christmas songs. Like, so I'm just gonna sit here and wait till it's like weird present time. because we used to have this big giant like secret, not secret, kind of secret Santa within the family, because we got this big old family. So everyone agreed the family's too big to be buying presents for everybody. Let's just pick names so this doesn't get out of hand. And it was a good time. It was a good time. For some reason, there was like, not for some reason, but there was a like community hall right across the street from my grandmother's house. And for some reason, they were like connected with it. Like my grandfather, I don't know, helped out with it or something, or whatever it was. They had the keys. And if during our party time it wasn't being used, we got to just go over to the hall. We had this whole big space. That was about it. But there was a big old space so kids could just run back and forth. Great stuff. What was my point of that? Ah, yeah. When you get older and realize, hey, old timey stuff is dumb, and we got to be better people.
Oh, we can be worse people because everything is better with me. Beans. I own a bean. I don't know the bean company, but I like to support the beans. Oh, don't watch Fox News anymore because everybody hates me because I'm such a winner.
You still don't make any sense. Ted, you got anything to say over there before we wrap this up?
No, brah. Just want to say that. Hopefully you remember to record some sort of extra Christmas episode while you're away that you can put up. But I'm always here for you, guy. And I would appreciate it if you gave me maybe a Santa hat for next time so we can have a more festive stream.
Meow, 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 meow.
That's right. Ted, it's expensive. It takes time, but I will do my best. I will do my best, in spite of Ripley's, qualms, to give everybody some sort of festive makeover for the next few streams. And yeah, we'll holiday this up. I was thinking about, you know what I might do? Maybe I'll do a stream where I decorate the tree. I was thinking about it. The logistics of doing it are a bit of a mess, but it's not that many wires to disconnect. Won't be using the drawing tablet, and probably public domain Christmas music. I don't know, we'll figure something out. But I still didn't put up decorations. That was another thing I was going to do over the weekend, but it was like, why? When I have this blanket. Everything's good under this blanket. Oh, I'll draw things in my sketchbook. Anyway, follow me on Instagram. If you want the nude versions of that stuff, follow me on Twitter. If you want me to be happy and you don't already follow me on subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. But like I said, the Twitch following is getting pretty good. And I don't know. As much as I feel like, why am I doing this? What do I do this for other than just to entertain myself? That's really the most important thing in your life, is keeping yourself entertained. And that way, when you do interact with other people in the world, you're happy. And if you're happy and you know it, you'll spread some happiness, or you're a little more helpful. Like I said, when John sent me the message of, hey, can I recruit you to help me move some stuff? My first thought was, no, don't write back to this. Don't respond to this. Wait till the movie is done and then respond to this. You already have things to do, but they're not important, and I can do them later. And I like being helpful, and I feel good about what I've done in the week, even though I've mostly been locked in and depressed. But I feel like gotta pitch in, gotta be a part of the human race. And after doing it, it's like I felt so much better about myself, and about just the world, knowing that there are people that help. When that other guy showed up, just like, you don't need to be here. You physically can't even handle this, but you're still trying. That's amazing. And same goes, with Christmas decorations. Like last year, I'm just like, wow, I feel great about this. I normally don't care about any of this stuff, but, I was like, I got a little tree that I don't even know if it will go up again. It's a very cheap tree. But I don't know. It's nice having it in front of the window. I love having windows blocked. I feel weird knowing that people can see in windows. I don't know how people can have a big picture window and just be like, doo-doo-doo, this is what I'm watching on TV. This is what I'm wearing. Like, no. No, get some kind of shears. Don't display yourself to the world. That doesn't make any sense. Um, yeah, lights are pretty great. Most of the Christmas lights I've ever bought are in this room now and already on trees. You know what I do have is a second Christmas tree. For a guy who's like, I'm not really into Christmas and decorating, and I think we've talked about this last year. You have 2 Christmas trees? Are you serious? What is this even about? What are we talking about right now? Yeah, last year I had the real tree and I dragged it in here, which was a mistake. And then I have this other little tree that's meant to go outside that has lights already built into it. And I don't know, maybe I'll put some decorations on it. But yeah, I'll slide this in here. Especially since these plants are all dying real hard. When I say, hey, I've been curled up under some blankets for like 2 weeks just trying to convince myself that the outside world isn't trying to destroy itself and me, I haven't watered these plants in so long. Today I watered them. I've been keeping on top of the dishes. Like I said, I went to the grocery store. I got a bunch of non-junk food and vegetables. Yeah, mostly fruit. I don't get a lot of vegetables. And yeah, and I'm just like, all right, maybe I can, well, one of these plants is inexplicably just growing like crazy, and I'm like, all right, good for you. You're getting huge and taking over the room. This tree isn't doing too bad, but these 2 little trees, they are getting weak and frail, and it's because A, I don't water them, and B, they're very close to the heater that decides what heat it wants to be whenever it wants to be it. But yeah, I'll bring a fake tree in here with these trees, festive it up, just like Dave and other strangers and footlong sandwiches. Because I do, as scary as that is part of the joys of life. Is not necessarily like, hey, these are my friends that I know. It is these are the strangers that I came across, and a lot of the times the terrible ones are a great story, and they don't hit me. They don't infect me with their rage or violence. It usually reminds me to like, hey, don't be so upset about things. Try to enjoy all the things, cause that's all you can do. And then all the other people that are just like, wow, like even just running into John again of just like, hey, like thanks again. I really want to repay you. It was like I said when I finished moving you in the first time, or moving you over there. Was just like, oh, like I still can't thank you enough. And just like, the only way you can thank me, it was just like, I'll get, do you want coffee? Take you out for this. It was like, I don't drink coffee, but also don't get me anything. What I want you to get for me is for you to get a better place to live. And if the sooner you do that, the happier I will be, because this place is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Here's how unacceptable it is. At the very last thing, Uncle went away, and now it's my job to move the last carload of stuff. So we move the last carload of stuff, come back. His girlfriend has not been over there while we've been filling things in. We've just been Jenga Tetrising this thing in to the brim. There is no space in here. The bed is vertical. There's nowhere to lay down. There's nowhere to sit down. This place is packed. And all I can think is, when this woman sets foot in here, when she opens this door, I don't want to be here. Like, there's nothing I can do, and I don't want to be here for this. They seem to be totally on board. They know what they're getting into. There's not really any surprises, but I'm just like, you've seen the gradual filling of this. She's been on the other side packing things up and getting ready for us. So when she said, I don't want to be here, because I assume I would just start crying, or she's screaming something. Like, I would start smashing everything in here. This is just, it's not, I can't. There's no way. So after being as helpful as I could, the last thing that I had was maybe a litter box, or no, a fan. I had a little box fan, and I didn't go up all the way up the stairs. They were going up, and I'm just like, I gotta get out of here. I can't I can't. There's no way. I can't face this, and I won't face this. So I just reached up as far as I could, slid the box fan up on top of the step, and that was it. Started walking away. Like, good luck. That's literally just good luck. Good luck. All right? Good luck. This is like my third mask of the night because they've just been getting soaked with all the sweat and breathing and rain. Oh, and the other thing was when we first started moving, I was like putting stuff up on that wall, like I said, and this old lady comes out of nowhere and she's like, "Hey, like what's going on?" I was like, "You're moving out? Who's moving out?" I was just like, "What?" I was like, "No, moving in." I was like, "Oh, what happened to William?" Like, I don't know who that is. I'm just helping, just here to help. I don't have any answers to any of your questions. "Oh, really?" She's like, "Wow, like you must be a really good friend, like to help move like up this hill in this rain. Like that's great." And she's just walking away to do some like composting or something and then coming back and she's still just like murmuring about this move. Like, I'm not the only person helping. There's like 4 other people, but yes, we're all very good people to be helping out with this. Slash, that's what you got to do. Like, you can't. It's how do you just leave people high and dry? It's just I don't understand. Hey, America. Hey, government of Canada. How do you keep leaving people high and dry? Again, it was one of my favorite memes, posters, whatever you want to call it, is how is it that we can build a pipeline to pump a bunch of oil through indigenous communities, destroying their water and just making them making their lives virtually impossible. But we can't, for some reason, build a pipe that can pipe water to the communities that need water. We can do it with oil, a very dangerous, highly flammable substance, but water? We can't pump water across the country. That's insane to believe. And it's things like that, and again, all of the things that Trump has done in the last 4 years that prove that there are some people out there that they don't have any sort of proper motivation. It's not about helping. It's not about survival. It's not about making their life better or other people's lives better. It's just about some sort of weird economical ideal, some sort of power struggle, some sort of just nonsense that it's just like if you take 4 steps back and look at the big picture, doesn't it make sense that if you're at the head of all the things and some of the people housed within the things that you are in charge of don't have water, you don't make it your priority to pipe water in. Like, Michigan still doesn't have, Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean water. Detroit is still just like collapsing in on itself, and it's just like, the Trump type response is like, "Oh, these governors, like, they're terrible." All right, well, you're the king of the governors, and if you're not making it better, then that means you're worse than them, because they're probably doing their best with what they've got, and you've got more, and you're taking away somehow. Anyway, that we went dark towards the end. 1 minute to 11. I gotta go to bed so I can get up early and be afraid again of everything. Also, I gotta finish putting my groceries away. I've got a floor full of food out there. I mean, other than
You didn't talk to me. I'm still out here in the street, watching the streets, observing the streets, looking at the cars, taking out license plate numbers, enjoying those little guys on their little bikes and how quickly they whip by. I should get a little bike like that and I can have a real good time. What are we talking about? My justice. It is clear. It is concise. And I know mostly you gotta include me from the beginning of the show. Because I don't... What are we talking about? Vote for me. Yeah.
Thanks, Batman. Thanks. Stop motion. I'm here as well, waiting for my day to be the star, to have our own show. You keep promising me my own show, and I've seen your notes, and you've decided to make Milo his own show before me, even though mine was on the list first before his. I deserve a show always. I'm the star of this show. I will be the star of your show. I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. There could be only one. Highlander rules apply. Lightning bolt and severed heads. Lightning bolts and severed heads.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yep, it's all gotten out of hand. Keep an eye out for your monoliths in the mail, in your yards, and whatever. That's been all of the buttons for the most part. Every Tuesday, sometimes peppered throughout the week, but every Tuesday we do the drawing show, and outside of that, maybe we'll do some decorating, maybe we'll play some more video games. But either way, if you're following on Twitch, subscribe too. That'll make me happy. If a bunch of people subscribe, then I'll just do this all the time, and then I'll have more things. But I've got a list of things I want to do always. Don't get through all of them. Sometimes they never get done. But, you know, I've got a handful of books available at mrcartoons.com that I've made. Comics of the Cat, Sexy Dinosaurs, and Poetry. And, of course, there's merch available at also mrcartoons.com, but society6.com/mrcartoons. And like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that bell. Subscribe bell, whatever. Oh man, but buy all the things, and if you don't want to buy them, just follow me on Instagram. Every new follower I get on Instagram genuinely is a little bit of an energy bar for me, and I know that I shouldn't base my value on likes and follows, but for some strange reason, I base all of my value on my Instagram likes and follows. I've got 604, which I think is still pretty good. That's still pretty good. You know, I don't know most of those people. A lot of them are the same person duplicated, but either way, that's what I like. I don't know. Followers on here is good too. Absolutely going to burp again. You can't. When did I start? 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 3.5 hours. Is that? Am I counting that right? That can't be right. It's gotta be 2.5. 8:30 to 9:30 is 1. 9:30. Yeah, 2.5 hours. I'm terrible at counting. That's why I draw pictures. But anyway, next Tuesday. Everybody have a good night. Go to sleep. Have a good rest, or stay up and enjoy your nighttime snacks. And your other TV shows that aren't so whack. Credits, Rips? Yeah, let's play the credits. Thanks, everybody! As always. Thank you for having a good time. I appreciate you dealing with my rhymes. Follow, share, and subscribe, and like. Tell your friends. Tell your friend Mike, we got a stream that you might like. That's like twice. Oh, that's a bad rhyming bike. I don't know.